All a first night of outstanding drama. Presented with the best wishes of Molson's Brewery Limited, who remind you to stay tuned for their presentation of Sports Billboard immediately following tonight's play. And now to the excitement of an opening night as our guests arrive for the premiere performance of Prosper's Old Mother, starring Ethel Barrymore and Ronald Reagan. Imagine, if you can, a mining town where the boys have already struck it rich. They've built big houses. They have almost everything they want. The missing item, there's not one single woman in this town. To pass the time, the boys fight. All this you'll see now as the curtain goes up on Prosper's Old Mother with Ethel Barrymore and Ronald Reagan.
You just wouldn't believe that things could be so peaceful. They haven't always been this way. There was a time when this was the only house in town, and with no women folk in it. But now, there's my wife, Janet, my children, Sarah, Mary, Thomas, and John, and Mother. She's not my mother, she's Janet's. But there was a time when she was my mother, really, Prosper's old mother. Our mining camp had only been going about a year, but I'd already hit my strike. So had quite a few others. Ready for a little drink and a few hands of friendly poker after 14 hours in our mines. We were among friends, and the money that changed hands wasn't considerable. It usually went right around the circle and came back to you eventually. Yeah, those were friendly games. And our fights were friendly fights. We weren't really mad. We just didn't have anything else to do.
Furniture. You're a fine fight, boys. Spirited and lively.
Well, thank you, Colonel Starbottle. I liked the one yesterday better.
Yeah, but the real fight was Saturday.
That was a bone breaker, a real wrecker.
Hey, we got almost everything here, almost, you know?
Well, there certainly ain't no cause to complain. But when you stop to think, now and then, there really is one thing missing.
What's that?
I don't know there's nothing missing.
All we need here now is a woman.
A woman?
Yeah, that's all we need to stir up troubles.
Yeah, turn friend against friend.
You don't really mean that, do you, Slim?
What I don't mean is the kind of woman you're talking about. What I'm talking about is a mother kind of woman.
What kind of woman's that?
Well, Pike, I was giving you the benefit of the doubt by supposing you maybe had a mother once, but if you want...
Easy, boys. We've enjoyed our fighting for today.
Slim, what exactly was your idea, Slim, this mother kind of woman?
Well, you know, Prosper is someone who'd bring a little gentility into the camp.
It's a fact. You could put all the gentility we got in a young bug's eye.
There's a great deal to be said for a mother's touch.
When you think what a mother kind of woman could do in the way of hot apple pie,
And donuts.
and the mending of socks and such.
Where would she live?
Well, you understand, Prosper, I'm just hypothecating with an imaginary kind of mother.
If she wasn't imaginary.
Well, if she was your mother, for instance, she'd come in right handy in that new house of yours, especially when you ain't got nobody to come home to night after night.
You see, Slim's idea hit me kind of hard, being as how I'd always been an orphan. I'd wondered a lot about this mother kind of woman he was talking about.
There's no doubt that Mother is the noblest of nature's divine inspirations.
Well, I've heard that, of course.
Hardly anyone can deny that mothers have played a long and important role in the history of the human race. I had one myself, you know.
And I didn't, you know. So, what do you think of my idea?
In the course of you... Of persuading some woman to come here with you and act as your mother? Where do you propose to find such a woman?
San Francisco. I got to go there anyway, and I thought I'd go to the welfare people.
The welfare people always seem to have plenty of mothers on hand, all right.
And you think it's a good idea?
You've got to be very careful, my boy. There are mothers, and then there are mothers. My mother chewed tobacco. Of course, this was nothing against her, you understand.
Colonel, you know, it's my idea to let the boys think this mother really is my mother.
Well, I don't see anything wrong with that, Prosper, so long as you pick the right type of mother to represent you. Now, this tobacco chewing habit of my mother started me out in life under somewhat of a handicap, I can tell you.
I'll watch out for that.
And have someone look over her teeth. I've known men who skirted bankruptcy for years trying to keep up their mother's teeth.
Tobacco and teeth. You know, the ordinary man who has to take what he gets doesn't realize what a risk he's running, does he? So, armed with the Colonel's invaluable advice, I went to San Francisco and applied at one of the welfare agencies. I told him I was looking for a woman. I don't think he quite understood what I was getting at. So I tried to clear things up by telling him that I wanted an old woman. But that fella just didn't want to understand that what I was looking for was a mother.
You mean that I'm expected to go to some crude, uncivilized mining town, and once there, pretend to be your mother?
That's right, ma'am.
Do you realize the background I come from? One of the most prominent families in Boston, and pretend to be the mother of some impoverished nobody?
Well,
And do you really mean to say that you're thinking of offering money to this sort of woman?
Well, I haven't actually gotten around to offering any money, but those were my intentions.
How much?
Oh, I hadn't given that much thought, but I imagine we can arrive at some satisfactory arrangement. You see, ma'am, you're right about me being a nobody. But you're in the vicinity of about $1 million of being wrong about me being an impoverished nobody.
You've been grazed by good luck in your mining venture, Mr. Riggs?
Oh, ma'am, I've been kicked in the teeth and slugged in the slats with good luck. So we bargained back and forth about the money for a while. And even though I didn't doubt that she came from a prominent Boston family, I knew from the way she bargained there must have been a couple of pawnbrokers who'd sneaked into her ancestry somehow. Finally, there was only one more point that had to be cleared up.
And in addition, I'll have to be provided with all the medicinal spirits that my doctor feels necessary for my rather delicate health.
I don't think there'll be much trouble finding medicinal spirits, ma'am. About how much a day does your delicate health require?
Don't be insulting, Mr. Riggs. This old tawdry affairs upset me no end.
And so Mrs. Fairhaven was installed in my parlor. The boys all turned up to pay their respects to my old mother. One of them had ridden clear over to Elkhorn and bought a batch of collars and ties. They sat around holding their teacups about as comfortable as a bunch of fever.